us to get out-rebounded by that margin and still find a way to win, I feel very good. I don't feel good about the rebounds, but I feel good about that we found a way to win despite that, even though the heavy rebounding advantage for them. But it is pretty amazing that they have 25 offensive rebounds and only have 17 points, where we have 14 offensive rebounds and 15 points. So it really didn't turn into that much of an advantage for them, even though they were, obviously we don't want to give up that many offensive rebounds. And good commercial, by the way, Bob, it's on the air right now.
Ryan on the left.
Coach, obviously many of their 24 turnovers were self-inflicted, but what were you guys doing defensively to kind of disrupt what they wanted to do?
Well, I hope we had something to do with it. I think our zone and spreading it out, getting high hands, made them make some cross-court passes that they didn't really want to do. And I think it took some time off the clock for them. But I'm extremely happy that, we have 16 turnovers and they have 24 turnovers. I thought, coming in, we kept hearing, defense, and then we kind of turned the table on that as far as the turnover area.
Over here on the right.
Coach, what was the big difference in the second half?
Well, we got down 7, and then Melissa Dixon came to play. She has 3 threes in a minute and a half, I believe, during that stretch. Then Jamie Prinny got one not from that far down the timeline there. We had an 18-point swing, I believe, in 6 minutes, and when we hit some of those threes, it really got us going. I mean, I think that's when the crowd did get into it. Somebody asked that earlier, but I think when the Melissa hits those threes and we're down 7, and all of a sudden she hits 2 threes and we're down 1, I think this place was ready to go, and they got behind us, and I think then we were just on a roll.
Ryan on the left.
Coach, you used to talk about winning a NCAA tournament game on your home floor. Doesn't that feel pretty good after that 5 years ago you couldn't do it?
Yeah, it feels really good. And anytime you win a game, it's great. You win at home, it's special. You win in the NCAA tournament, it's amazing, and it's amazing for our seniors. Those 3 seniors get to play another game in Carver Hawkeye Arena, and that means a lot to them. So I'm glad for those 3 seniors that they get another opportunity to suit it up and come out the tunnel in Carver.
Bob in the middle.
They said a lot about Notre Dame.
I have really not looked forward to them. I've always been my philosophy, 1 game at a time. Now I have assistants that do that for me, and they'll have a report ready for me when I get up there. But I'm not a person that looked ahead, and so I have not watched any film on them. And I'm probably the only person in America that hasn't seen them a whole lot on TV. They've been on TV in the Bluder house, but I've also been doing homework with my children and doing dishes and things like that when they're on, so I haven't really sat and analyzed them.
Any other questions?
Sure.
Chuck on the left.
Hi, Lisa. This is kind of off the game, but in the women's tournament, in this year's kind of a prime example, you don't see the upsets, early on like you do on the men's field. Why is that? I mean, is it because so many are playing in home courts?
Well, I mean, there are 15 home court sites this year, so there are quite a few. But I don't think that's any different than what we've had in the past. We've always kind of had significant home courts. There's just not as much parity in women's basketball as there is in men's basketball right now, and that's unfortunate. Until we get, the parity, and it's getting better. Because it used to be you could talk about 3 teams that were going to make it to the Final Four, and you knew those. Now, we're talking about 8 or 10 that could possibly make it, and I think that's good. But yeah, we need to get the parity between the 10 to 50 would be really nice.
Over here on the right.
Coach, a couple times after you got that lead, Miami cut it down a little bit. What did you tell the team to kind of keep that going, keep your lead going?
I think we got it down to 9 at one time after we got a significant lead. We talked about the team that, they were going to come out and press. They were going to start changing up the defense, doing some traps in the full court and bring up the intensity on the defense. And so just keeping our composure against them. And we said 3 keys: defense, box out, which obviously didn't help work too well for our favor. But taking care of the ball. You know, those were the 3 keys in the last 8-10 minutes for us, in my opinion, was keep playing the defense, keep trying to box out, and let's just take care of the basketball.
Any other questions?